Hello, dear friends. I'm so happy to be here today sharing with you some insights and some ways of delineating our experience that I think will be beneficial for you. And this specifically taps into shifting context around loneliness. And this is something that I actually have quite a few students and clients and friends talk with me about and have come to me about over the years. I might have a somewhat unique perspective on this, though I don't think I own it solely. As a child, I grew up with siblings that were much, much older than me, 10 years or more. So I also had two very active adult parents, which left me with a lot of time to myself. And I was able to move into those elements of solitude in ways that were very enriching for me. And I had the benefit of being young and having imagination on my side. I was able to also have the benefit of being out in the natural world for much of my young adult life. And so whether that was out there in a river similar to this as a young child near my backyard, riding bikes, chasing lizards, etc., I was able to imbue my time in solitude with nature and with my own imagination. Now, many people don't have that same sort of touchstone to go back to when they feel the experience of loneliness in their lives as an adult. And it's something that we all experience. You know, feeling lonely is a part of the human condition. And it's something that we can get caught into the gravity well of. We can also have it be something that becomes our identity and then has us push the world away more. It can be something that feels like a bad or negative emotion, and so we kind of grapple and fight against it. So I have a couple distinctions that I think may be beneficial. And the first one is the one that I think is most powerful as adults. And that's shifting context from loneliness to lonesome. I'm going to say that once again, shifting from loneliness to feeling lonesome. And for me, what happens within lonesome is very, very different. Lonesome is the poetic, the romantic, the deep, beautiful place that we've heard about in stories and seen in movies and beautiful novels throughout time. It's the individual who makes a journey on their own for a specific purpose, moving across great distances and has a beautiful experience along the way. This may be the cowboy. The lone cowboy is a great archetype for this. The lone sailor is another great archetype for this. The individual that embarks out into a space where they're not going to be with other people and then has an experience and returns with wisdom. You can also relate this to the hero's journey, if that's something that relates to you. You also see this with great sages and mystics throughout time, is that being withdrawn from society gives an opportunity to look inward and to connect that inward experience to that which is greater than ourselves. And that's where we see the monotheistic life come into place. All of these spaces are opportunities and archetypes for us to step into when we feel loneliness, which is an egoic structure, and move into something that is bigger than ourselves, into the archetypal elements that I just laid out. What's to be gained from this? Well, loneliness itself tends to be filled with doubt and has a lower vibration that usually brings up questions along the lines of why doesn't anyone schedule line up with mine? Why does no one want to hang out with me? Why is it so challenging for me to make friends? Gosh, all I really want is connection. And as we've talked about before, you know, questions are the steering wheels of the mind. And in a place of low vibration, we ask poor questions. And the mind itself is always going to retrieve answers. So if we're asking ourselves, why does nobody want to hang out with me? The mind is going to find 10 answers for that. Now, if we say another question, why is this opportunity for me to be with my own self arisen? And we can find 10 answers to that. And there may be answers along, there may be an opportunity here for insight and retrospection around things in my life that are not going the way that I desire. So wow, what an opportunity. Rather than getting caught up in being with family and friends and doing things and then doing work and doing, what an opportunity to experience the lonesome archetype, go deeper within, gain deeper insight and understanding, so that when we return to the world, we return as the more authentic version of ourselves, being able to give to those people in our lives with more authenticity, from more of our heart space, rather than coming to them needing connection, needing. You see the opportunity there? Rather than needing something from some other people, we're showing up fully resourced in order to give. And then that's the super big trick that I think the Beatles let us in on. The more love that you get, the more love you receive. Or the more love you give, the more love you can receive. So these archetypes, whichever one you may choose, it may be the wild woman in the woods who lives by herself in the hut, right? That powerful, attuned to magic and nature. Wow, what a powerful archetype. And you could be in an apartment building in a high rise and connect to this. You don't need the trappings to step into the archetype. That element of the lonesome explorer, so powerful. You may not even know exactly where you're heading. You might just have this opportunity of space that's to yourself, and that may end up being going to a coffee shop and reading by yourself, or drawing, or being in your own space and creating in whatever way is most attuned to your heart. It may be video editing, it may be podcasting, it may be creating a new business. Many people I talk to, they feel this loneliness, but then they have all this big laundry list of things that they want to do in life, and they don't see that opportunity, make that connection that wow, I have this open space in my schedule to work on things that I want to achieve either in the world or within my own being. So this is my invitation to you, to shift from I feel lonely to I feel lonesome, and write the next great novel. Attune to higher power. Step into your greatness. That's an opportunity, and I'm inviting you to enjoy it, accept it, and grow within it. All right, have a blessed day. I'll see you soon.